What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? It's me, that HEAD, back with you for another Raw review. That's right, Raw review took place last night, November 30th. Wow, I'm losing dates. Sick. November 30th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, a very average Raw again, except this time it was better than last week's, in my opinion. So they had that going for them because it was far better than last week's. Still a bit of an okay Raw, a bit of a shocking Raw as well in a way, considering. Now, I'll get to this right now. First off, Raw saw the return of Lana and Rusev. They came out on Miss TV. Lana claims that, she's back to normal. She's back to where she was before, being Rusev's sidekick and whatever. They talked about the TMZ thing getting out, them getting engaged and that. And apparently Lana turned around and when she didn't go all the way with Dolph. Anyway, Ryback interrupted, came out, and all of that led into a match. Match that we've seen before, nothing new, but it ended very weirdly for me because Rusev got driven back into the steel steps. The steel steps knocked into Lana's thigh, and she's out on the floor. And then Rusev, instead of coming back in, gets counted out because he goes to check on Lana. It's just a weird way to end, but it'd be interesting to see what direction Lana and Rusev go in WWE, considering, because they were high in the storyline. Some are raised now with Tyler Breeze, more on her later, and more on Tyler Breeze later. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see where that goes, what direction they will get. Will they get a tag? We all know where Rusev's going. More on that later on. But it'd be interesting to see where they go as a team, as they were before, considering where things are going out. I mean, have they made peace with the WWE? Has WWE made peace with them? Have they still got heat from what I've been reading on the dirt sheets? I don't know. Interesting to find out. Raw kicked off with the New Day. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Being the hosts of Sheamus' celebration, basically sucking up to Sheamus. That's what they were doing. Considering the months they were sucking up to Seth Rollins. Now Seth Rollins is on the shelf and Sheamus is the new champion. Oh, yeah, we'll suck up to Sheamus. Give me a break. The whole thing, he was rubbing it in, and then Sheamus is all of a sudden Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sheamus 5'15". He wears a t-shirt later on. I'll get to that in a second. And the whole celebration, just celebrating him being the champion, goes up to the top rope, turns around, Superman punch. Roman Reigns out of nowhere, Superman punch. And Roman Reigns takes the belt, takes it backstage, holds it up the top of the ramp, and then has to give it back to Stephanie. I would say Triple H, but again, Roman Reigns punks out the authority again. And gets a world title shot later on in the evening, but has to beat Sheamus in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. The amount of time that he had the championship in the first place, which was just ridiculous, because we all know what's going to happen. It's them two at TLC. It was just more build-up for TLC. And it ended up being a bit of history as well, because Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, who beat Goldust early on in the night. I'll get to that in a second. Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, and Wade Barrett came out and interfered, basically saving Sheamus his championship. Now, would it be wrong to call these guys the new Four Horsemen? Nah. Maybe the new United Kingdom, because the League of Nations faction was born. Sheamus, the leader, obvious leader, Wade Barrett, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio. US champion, world champion in there as well. Now, this could be the modified version of the United Kingdom. For those of you that don't know, go back to play a couple of SmackDown versus Raw, or maybe 2K15 or SmackDown versus Raws, whatever it was. Because they had a group on their United Kingdom which involved Drew McIntyre, William Regal, Wade Barrett, and Sheamus. So maybe this is the modified version of it. I don't know. But it's a League of Nations. And, yeah, they were scheduled to go into a big main event later on in the evening because of what happened when they went out against the Usos, Ambrose, and Roman Reigns. But the New Day somehow weaseled their way into it, and Raw ended with the beatdown of Roman Reigns and his crew. And the League of Nations and New Day in celebratory mode, and Sheamus being held up above, on the shoulders and everything with the championship, which was just ridiculous. Poor way to end Raw, if you ask me. As far as the League of Nations direction goes, we all know what's going to happen. But will this last? Will Sheamus retain the championship at TLC? We'll have to wait and see. We all know as well, it was announced as well, which we already knew, but it was announced anyway. Kevin Owens defends the Intercontinental Championship against Dean Ambrose at TLC as well. I love me some Kevin Owens, but please, Dean Ambrose needs a belt. That's all I'm saying on that. Back up to the first match of the night, which was Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler. A redemption match for Ziggler, considering what happened at the pay-per-view, Survivor Series. And they picked up where they left off. I thought it was a better match than the Survivor Series pay-per-view, if you ask me. Lots of counters, lots of quick falls, and it got to the point where Ziggler gets out of a fall, Tyler Breeze turns around, walks right into a super kick, and Ziggler gets redemption. So it's 1-1 now in this series that apparently these two are having. What will happen? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe another match at TLC. I won't be complaining. But they've gone the right route with this because Survivor Series, Breeze needed to win, which he did, and cleanly. And then Ziggler obviously gets his redemption. And now probably the rubber match will be at TLC. Or who knows. But we all know rubber match. If they're smart, they'll put it at TLC. But we all know WWE is not that bright half the time because they usually give matches away for free. But a match for TLC, Dolph Ziggler, hopefully, will take on Tyler Breeze in the rubber match. Who else? Oh, yes. It seems that the Dudleys have beef with the Wyatt family. Considering last Monday they destroyed the Dudley Boyz, the Wyatt family, that is. And it seems that the Dudleys kind of feel themselves outnumbered. So they come out with tables with each of the Wyatt family's names on it. And, the Dudleys, they plan on putting every one of the Wyatt families through the tables. The Wyatt family came out. Obviously, there was going to be a 6-man tag in the pipeline, but who would be the mystery opponent? Or the mystery partner of the Dudleys? Who did Dudleys go out and get? Tommy Dreamer. That's right. The Innovator of Violence seems to be back in WWE. The Innovator of Violence, the owner of House of Hardcore. Maybe he struck a deal with WWE to get them working together or something. I don't know. But, yeah, it was actually good to see him back. And the 6-man tag took place after Dudley's and Tommy Dreamer fighting off the Wyatt family. But the match ended in a no contest, but that wasn't the story. The Wyatts had the Dudleys and Tommy Dreamer where they wanted him, or where they wanted them. And Wyatt was on the apron to directing traffic. And you could see Bubba Ray was looking to get up and everything. And as they were preparing to put the Dudleys through the table again, like they did on SmackDown with that double choke slam, Bubba Ray gets up from out of nowhere, just runs at Bray Wyatt and pushes him through the table. on the apron. He pushes him off of the table. And as you can probably tell from the thumbnail, that's what happened. You can tell by the thumbnail that I've got for this video. Out of the blue. Nobody expected that. Not even the Wyatts. And Luke Harper was extremely pissed. But I guess that's 1 down, 3 to go. Will they get the other people through the other guys through the tables? It'd be interesting to see how they get Braun Strowman through a table. That big motherfucker. But yeah, very interesting to see where that goes, that feud. And hopefully both sides, the Wyatt family and the Dudley Boyz, get some benefit out of it. Because boy, do they need it. Goldust beats Alberto Del Rio, which eventually ends up happening. But the story of the match, excuse me, was not the victory for Alberto. Alberto looks to put the armbar on Goldust, but Jack Swagger comes out, and when Jack Swagger runs to the ring, Alberto Del Rio bails. US title matches on the pipelines for these two. And Jack Swagger goes, "We the people." Tries to rub it into Seb Coulter. I don't know where this would go. I mean, I would imagine this is entirely different. An entirely different Alberto Del Rio to what it was before, because these two have feuded over the world title. Be interesting to see where this goes. And we all know it's going to be a match at TLC. You know, will there be a stipulation in? Will it be just a one-on-one United States wrestling match? Be interesting to see. Yeah. It's a different Jack Swagger because he hasn't got Seb Coulter with him this time. And it's a different Alberto Del Rio because he's got Seb Coulter with him this time. So, be interesting to see where that goes. But I'm not expecting much. Number 1 Contenders tag team match, which ended in a no contest. And Stephanie gives the Lucha Dragons the title shot, which quite rightly so, because they get it. They've had a courtesy of what happened on SmackDown. Apparently, they got a pinfall victory. They got a victory over the New Day anyway, so quite rightly so. Give them the title shot. But everybody expected it to be a triple threat match. But Stephanie's sticking it to Roman Reigns via the Usos. And if Roman beat Sheamus later on in the evening in that 5-minute 15 match, you know, they would get a title shot. So you could see that in the pipelines, in the works, the seeds have been planted for a triple threat match at TLC pay-per-view involving the Usos, the Lucha Dragons, and the New Day. You could see the seeds. But at the moment right now, it seems Lucha Dragons get a title shot against the New Day, which I don't have any beef with whatsoever because the Lucha Dragons deserve it. Will the Usos get thrown in the mix? We'll wait and see. I would imagine so, but you never know. Sasha Banks squashes Brie Bella, just proving that she's the boss. Not much of this match, basically. Sasha just trying to prove the dominance of what was going on. You know, trying to prove that she is the most dominant diva and the reason she is the boss. And Team Bad are the most dominant group in this Divas division as well. So nothing much. Roman Reigns, I've already talked about that one, which forms the League of Nations as well. And I've already talked about the main event, but a very interesting dynamic of what's took place here. Because Charlotte went one-on-one with Becky Lynch, 2 BFFs going at it. And Paige was at ringside, rubbing it in. But that wasn't the story of the match. The story of the match was Charlotte playing possum and Ric Flair distracting Becky in a way, and then Charlotte playing possum, kipping up and getting the victory. Becky didn't seem too pleased with that. And after the match, they were backstage, what the hell was going on and everything. Charlotte seems to have calmed it down, but I don't think Becky's going to take that lightly. We might see the full demotion of PCB. You know, she managed to calm her down, Charlotte, but there seems to be a little twist there. You know, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Charlotte seems to be the babyface. But there seems to be a heel turn in the process. A heel turn for Becky Lynch. Or maybe Charlotte, I don't know. But it seems to be more Becky Lynch. And it seems to be the next time Charlotte defends the title, which will probably be a TLC. The next time she defends the belt, a TLC, no doubt, maybe Becky will screw her out the title. You know, the seeds are planted there. Whether they will go ahead with it, who knows? You know, but you got to remember the Four Horsewomen, 2 members of the Four Horsewomen. So, what the hell WWE are trying to do with that? I don't know, but we'll see. But maybe there's a seed being planted with the heel turn for Becky Lynch. And Becky, you know how usually it comes out, you know, say Charlotte defends the title, Becky comes out to help Charlotte, everybody expects her to help Charlotte, and bam, she turns on her. You know? It's a seed planted. Whether it will go ahead or not remains to be seen. But, yeah, that about wraps it up for the Raw review. And overall, it was a better Raw than the last week. Last week's was poor. Still on the average side, nothing great. A few shocking moments here and there, but nothing great about it. But it was better than last week's Raw. It was definitely better than last week's. So the scores I'll give it is, out of 5, I'll give it a 3, maybe 2.5. A 2.5 to a 3. You know, blend them both in. You decide on that one, guys. And out of 10, I'll give it a 6. Because it was better than last week's. I found it to be more better than last week's, because last week's was piss poor. It was like they just shot it together. Last week's, they like shot it together at the last minute. It was really, really bad. But this one was a little bit better. Not a lot better. It wasn't great, but it was a little bit better than last week's. Maybe a lot. So, with that being said, that is the end of the Raw review. Now, I've got some news. If you're in the Liverpool area, in the UK, Birkenhead area, get yourself over to Mystery Island. I believe it's January 5th or January 2nd. It's early January, beginning of January. Let me just double check this. I forgot the date. They sent me the date last week. Yeah, January 2nd. January 2nd, Saturday, I would imagine that is, because I'm working that day at the borough. January 2nd, if you're in the Birkenhead area, Liverpool, get yourself over to Mystery Island and go and meet So Cal Val. That's right, So Cal Val will be in there making an appearance, signing autographs, meeting the fans, hanging out, doing all that good stuff as well with the wrestling fans. So if you're in the area, get yourself over there. I don't know if there's tickets or anything available, but if you're in the area on January 2nd, pop over. Pop over there and get yourself in and say hi to So Cal Val. Remember, guys, Birkenhead area, Mystery Island, January 2nd. Okay, so be sure to check that out as well. Also, guys, check out the new installment of the Wrestling Matters podcast. It is up now, episode 87. A lot of information now on teamdavyboysmith.com and how you can sign a petition to convince WWE or be on board this petition to get Bulldog where he rightfully belongs in the Hall of Fame. And that about wraps it up, guys. For more information, check out facebook.com/WM Podcast, at WM Podcast on Twitter. I will put the links to the Mystery Island. I can't put them in the description, but I'll put the links to Mystery Island, all the links. I'll put it like an annotation. There'll be an annotation in the corner somewhere throughout the video. So be sure to check that out as well. Follow the links on there. I'll put all the links in there as well. So be sure to check out Mystery Island as well. I can't put them in the description below because it's full up. And like I said, there'll be an annotation in the corner of this video as you're seeing this right now. Or there should be, unless you took it off. But there'll be an annotation at the start of this video or throughout the video of where you can go from Mystery Island, the Mystery Island links. So if you want more information on So Cal Val, check it out on there as well. All the links will be on there, including their website. My name is Anthony Walker. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And until next week, guys, I'll be back next week with another Raw review. See you soon.